That's what really impressed me in an interview that I saw you guys did a while ago, where you said that everyone in the band has different opinions, and that probably if someone asks you guys separately about a topic related to the band, you would all say different things. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm interested to hear how you establish this synergy between yourselves in terms of respecting each other's points of views and using this as an actual I would say maybe motivation to create and finding like a creative source out of it. Because for
Yeah.
me, from my perspective, this requires a lot of effort, a lot of emotional investment in just putting yourself in other people's shoes, and not that many people are open to this process. So I'm curious how you devise that.
You're right. That's very true. And at times it can be very difficult,
Mhm.
for one of us to try and convince everyone else that this concept that I have, I am really passionate about it. And I know you guys aren't feeling it right now, but I
Mhm.
need you to trust me. Like, let's just go down, this ride, and let's see where it leads. If
Mhm.
it's a bad ride, okay, that's all right. Then we won't do it, or we'll try it a different way. In certain regards, it's like, obviously, Johnny lost his mom to cancer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Fortunately, my mother is still living.
Mhm.
And I don't fully know what that's like.
Mhm.
But as a friend, and at knowing his mom and being there with him through all of that, I can be empathetic to the situation. And I know that this situation has happened to so many people. And that's what's beautiful about music, is you can find a tragedy, and you can find greatness in that, in regards to connecting with other people and
Mhm.
relating to them, to let them know that they're not alone. So, songs like God Went North and Jenny,
Mhm.
those are much more right from Johnny's perspective. And Dan and myself really kind of put ourselves in his shoes, and ask those questions like, what would you say to your mom? She's going through this terminal illness, and if crying out to God, if you can't save her, we'll just take her. And that's like,
Mhm.
oh, that's such a pinnacle emotional
Yes.
line. That's
Yes.
true. So many people have been there, and it's so sad.
Mhm.
It's so hard. And me personally, songs like Fade In Fade Out,
Mhm.
I'm the only father in the band.
Mhm.
And this idea came to me when my son was in utero, and we just my wife and myself decided to give him the name Phoenix. And the idea just kind of came to me, the passing of the torch, the story of the Phoenix, and how cyclical that is for, from father to son,
Mhm.
grandfather to father to son, and how it continues. And I only had the fade in fade out idea of just the
Mhm.
father to son thing, and then I went and visited my parents, and I just kind of had that moment of like, oh man, my dad's old now. It's like
Mhm.
he doesn't have those dad muscles that he always had his entire
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And the song clicked to me, and then I finally decided, all right, maybe this is a Nothing More song.
Mhm.
And really got together with the guys and pitched my idea, and pitched this, the some of the music that I had for everything. It needed a lot
Mhm.
of work, and it was kind of a crappy demo, but Ben and Dan jumped on with me. It was kind of hard to convince Johnny. I understand what it's like to sing about something that's, not necessarily your story.
Mhm.
And sure, how that can be a little more difficult, but he finally was able to find, his own place in that story, and kind of understand it and jump on board my story, and get it out, to the world, and realize that, yeah, that song is a lot of people's favorite song, Fade In
Mhm.
Fade Out, and they can relate to it. Um,
Mhm.
I just really told a bunch of stuff and talked for a really long time. I
No,
appreciate you listening and being
oh,
patient with me, Hristo.
I'm all about for this sort of conversations, honestly, and that's why I'm really interested in doing this sort of project. And I'm really interested in, always very interested to talk with you guys because, I met you a couple of years ago and, I had the chance to talk with Johnny for quite a while. And we even shared some sort of
Nice.
similar experiences in terms of what he experienced with his mother at the time. I was experiencing the same thing, literally with the same sort of complexity when you were in a room where you hear one of your closest family members just screaming out of pain. At the same time, you're just asking for them to be taken, so the agony is finished, and just put your mind at such a, I don't know. I can't even describe the complexity of the emotion there.
Yeah.
And what really fascinates me with you guys is that it seems that you managed to so well portray your emotions in such a moving way, and I'm interested to hear whether again, would you say this is a skill, a quality that you trained, something that you aim to do, or is it just a pure sheer talent that you possess?
That's a great question, and thank you for the kind words. I'm not entirely sure of how to answer that. I do believe storytelling and songwriting are similar, and just even conversing, myself and yourself right now, it's like you learn how to talk to people, and you learn how to get through to people, but also just being honest and realizing that honesty cuts through, and you really get to the source of what people are going through, and how, once again, how powerful it is to know that you're not alone in something. It can be really difficult. It's like if you don't have some sort of outlet or some sort of something that you can connect with. And that's a big thing. So I don't know if it's a talent or if it's just I don't know, just something that we've gotten better with over time. But just being honest and transparent about those experiences and those stories it's a big deal. So yeah, I hope that sheds some light on your question.
Oh, definitely.